Hello, this is November Oscar 2 Charlie Whiskey with a few notes regarding the new version of the RTL SDR Dongle version 3 that I've had for a couple of days now. Number one, I wanted to share some notes regarding the size of the unit. Now, if you plug it in directly into a laptop, and if you have one of those thick, sturdy, high-grade coax cables that I use for amateur radio use, it could become quite unstable connected to the laptop, and it can damage the USB slot there on your laptop. So what I did was I did get one of the extension cables for you, which is USB to USB. It did not degrade the performance in any way, but I think it's something that I would strongly suggest that you do, and that's to avoid any kind of damage and interaction between the laptop itself, especially, and coax, especially if you use any type of thicker, sturdier, higher grade coax. Number two, well, of course, were my connectors. This is SMA to BNC and then BNC to the SO238 there. And you can get those connectors on eBay or Amazon easily, and it's probably a good idea to have a whole bunch of these different sizes and types in a box and just pull them out when you need them. So this is an initial thought regarding the hardware, and I will get into the software. Currently, I have only used the software with SDR Sharp. And the reason is RTL's website recommends or actually directs you for HF to use a particular option here in the sampling mode, which is direct sampling Q branch. And that option may or may not be available on other popular SDR software. Therefore, right now I'm only working with SDR Sharp and this device. Now, other devices will tune it, except that for HF performance, you really need to use this particular option in order to get any type of usable HF signal out. So right now, SDR Sharp is the software that I'm using it and testing it with. I will tune into several different signals, and I'll try to follow the same sequence then between the RTL dongle and the SDRPlay. And the first one is what we're hearing here is 15 megahertz WWV. Notice my settings. I have the SDR automatic gain control on, as well as the software. Automatic gain control. And what you're seeing also is that I have the audio noise reduction turned on, and this setting, the threshold there in the lower left corner, can make quite a bit of a difference, but you have to adjust it every single time after you've tuned into a signal. There's no universal setting unless you just don't want to be bothered with it. So this is 15 megahertz, 4 kilohertz filter, I believe, and this is amplitude modulation.
Coordinated universal task. Boxeo en representación.
15195.
Asimismo, el voleibolista habanero Osmani Juan Torena logró ganar medalla de plata por Italia en voleibol, mientras que el artemiseño Orlando Ortega también ganó plata.
15180. And 15160. $15,140. amplitude modulation. And this is 12160. And this is super strong here. I'm located in South Florida, and Cuba is just 100 something miles away from here. So. And 11760 is barely audible signal there. Uh, 9980, strong as always. Uh, 9475. I'm struggling to find weak signals that I can use for comparison with other stations. The strong signals, I'm pretty sure, will be handled very well. Now, this is 5015 in the middle of the day, 1 p.m. in the middle of the day here. And right next to it, actually 10 kilohertz away. Back to 5015. I don't sense any interference, but then that's 10 kilohertz away, so I shouldn't really be expecting much of an interference there. I'm set to a 4 kilohertz filter at the moment. And this is 1180 AM, right there in the corner actually. And this is 1300 AM. And that's pretty much it as far as going through the spectrum here. I will try to do the same walkthrough using... Hello, this is November Oscar 2 Charlie Whiskey. I will try to do a similar walkthrough as I did with the RTL Dongle using an SDRPlay receiver. And the software I'm using is HD SDR. So we're starting with 19 meters and 15140. And we have WWV here, 115. And this is 25 meters, 12160. Now this of course is a super strong 11930. $11,775, strong of course. Weak signal on 11760. Now I have an OK signal on 10 megahertz from WWV, and that wasn't readily audible with the RTL dongle. $11.99.80.
Everyone will be eternally damned.
60 meters, strong daytime reception, 5025. And 5015. The signals on the SDRPlay seem to be articulated better out of the noise and pulled out of the noise than the RTL dongle. You can clearly see the noise floor and the signal coming out of it. Not as clear and easy to see on the RTL dongle. 11:90 a.m. And 1300 a.m. If you scroll back to 1300 a.m. as received by the RTL dongle, you'll be surprised to find out that that was a stronger and better reception of what I'm getting here. Unless I'm looking for the signal, I would not know that there's a signal at 1300 kilohertz. With the RTL dongle, I could hear the news, and I may have to go back to it just to double check that I'm right. But I could hear the news distinctly on 1300. I will also try to see if I can get a signal out of the Bahamas. They have 1540, unintelligible here, and 810 on SDRPlay. I will go back to the RTL dongle just to confirm 1540 and 810 a.m. One more time, we're back to the dongle. This is 1300 just to confirm. With SDRPlay, I could hear no signal on 1300. And this is 1540, and 1540 should be coming from the Bahamas, and SDRPlay would not detect a signal there, and I can hear it, and I can detect it very well. And finally, 810. This is 810, as seen by the dongle. So what does this quick test tell me on shortwave? And of course, this is a daytime test. So on shortwave, I think the SDRPlay can articulate and pull the signal out of the noise better, and the noise floor compared to the signal is much better pronounced, and the difference, that range that you get, is better and easier to work with than the RTL dongle. On the AM band, on our medium wave, surprisingly, the RTL dongle could pull signals out of the noise better than SDRPlay. So if that's something that you're interested in, considering that SDRPlay is $20, it absolutely is worth a try to see if that receiver will give you anything that you may not have thought about before. Of course, the antenna comes into play as well. For this test today, I was using a dipole cut for 40 meters. So that's an amateur radio antenna, which is a 40-meter dipole. Also, one more thing to notice here. We are using two different pieces of software for SDRPlay and the RTL dongle. And because these are software-defined receivers, this could make a heck of a difference from one piece of software to another. I wish I could have used the same software with similar settings, but I wasn't able to. The RTL dongle, currently the sampling that it uses, I can only get it to work on SDR Sharp. Maybe that's going to change in the future, and it can be accommodated by the other pieces of software as well. The other ones will tune it, however, you will not get much of a signal out of that. So to summarize, daytime reception, I prefer the SDRPlay. It seems to pull signals better on shortwave. Medium wave, I absolutely prefer the RTL dongle. I'm very surprised by the quality of signals that you can pull out of the noise, and I did not get a chance to do that before. But as soon as I get a chance, I will run a nighttime reception test. The difference between daytime and nighttime with these receivers could be night and day. So thank you again for checking out this review. This is NO2CW saying 7-3.